welcome to the program City Pulse on Housing TV Africa. City Pulse is a program brought to you by the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, a town planning association recognized in Nigeria and globally. I am Phoebe Onwabuje, your anchor for today. And on today's program, we will be discussing waste management challenges stemming from inefficient urban planning. I won't be doing this alone, as I will have joined me in the studio right after this break an expert in the built environment in person of Town Planner Sani Adamu, the National Auditor of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. Please stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back. Just before we went on a break, I announced that I will be having join me in the studio Town Planner Sani Adamu, the National Auditor of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, as we discussed on waste management challenges that are stemming from inefficient urban planning. And here he is, right beside me. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And it's an honor to have you on today's program.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So let's quickly begin. A report came in sometime in August about Abuja residents complaining bitterly about improper waste management systems, which led to clogging and flooding and all the rest of that. What is your perspective about this information?
Okay. Thank you very much. The residents have every right to complain.
Yeah.
Because everybody deserves to live in a clean, healthy, and efficient environment where we can live, work, recreate, worship, and be happy and fulfilled as humans.
Okay.
So environmental challenges, especially those of waste management, they bring in a lot of environmental problems.
Yeah,
such as flooding, you spoke about, breakout of diseases,
which are harmful to health.
Pollution, it gives us a lot of sicknesses, because of the air that goes out from
these
fumes and everything. So the residents have a right to complain. And I think arising from our conference at the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners FCT chapter, that is why we call all the stakeholders to come and engage with one another so that we'll continue to fashion out ways, to tackle these problems.
Okay.
The waste management issue is not the problem of government alone. It's a collective responsibility.
Okay.
While the government is doing its own part, the citizens too must do its own part. Because no matter how much the government try, no matter the resources that are put in place, if the citizens do not embrace proper environmental management, there's a limit to which the government can achieve it.
Okay.
We already have Abuja Environmental Protection Management Board, which is fully in charge of waste management and environmental issues in the FCT. So the residents need to cooperate. And if I ask you this question, I'm sure you'll be surprised that a lot of residents don't pay their bills. Some people can stay up to 20 years without even knowing
that there is something like that.
Discharge that responsibility. There are estates, there are houses, commercial places, even government institutions that don't care. But every day they bring out refuse. Refuse is coming out from homes, from offices, from industries, from schools, from everywhere. As long as humans exist in a place, refuse will continue to come out. And it must be managed properly. So, like I said, earlier on, it's a collective responsibility. Sometimes you don't need to even be told. The only time people will complain is when that refuse is not evacuated properly, or when they have their drains clogged
Start
and
causing
water
issues.
is going into their homes and causing inconveniences to them.
That's when
They will not complain when they did not pay
their bills.
their bills. All right? And you can see how it has become a misnomer. I'm not saying the government is doing everything right, but I'm saying that it's a collective responsibility. Everybody has a stake. So we must all come together to solve this problem for our common good.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, Town Planner Sani. Moving on, we noticed that this report, it was focused on places like Jabi, Gwarimpa, and Wuse, but we both know that almost all cities in Nigeria face the same situation. So why do you think why do you think this problem is so widespread? Like no city is free from it. Every city has one complaint or the other about poor waste management.
Okay. To start with, um, a waste management or an environmental problem is not peculiar to any space. It is a global issue.
It is.
Everywhere. As long as human beings exist in a place, there will be environmental problems. I can tell you that one uh, peculiar thing about environmental challenges is that it can go around the whole globe. That is why today you hear people talking about climate change, global warming, depletion of ozone layer, the melting of ice in the glaciers. All these are huge environmental problems that have even transcend ordinary waste management. This waste management is something that we can easily manage, right? But we have bigger pictures, and all these environmental challenges are coming as a result of human activities. Human activities, being it our solid waste, being it gaseous emissions from the use of motor vehicles, from industries, from homes, and everything that are moving around the world and causing global environmental problems that have the tendency to even end the entire thing. Because once the temperature starts rising above some certain level, it make it impossible for humans to exist. So we have bigger problems that we are trying to deal with globally, anchored by United Nations, the bigger countries, and everything. So this waste management is peculiar to every locality, every city, every village. No matter how big or small it is, the environmental problem, waste management issues are there for everybody to handle. What matters is the dimension, the size, the scale of it.
In spite of the presence of all these agencies that are there to handle waste management properly, why do these problems still exist? Why do we still face these problems? We know that it is something that concerns the global world. It is not just limited to a particular city or to a particular country. And we know that there are agencies that that their responsibility is to take control of these things and ensure that, okay, wastes are being managed properly. But why do these problems still exist?
Yeah, like I told you, environmental problems are complex in nature. Solving them requires strategic plans and strategic actions at every point in time. Uh, and it requires huge investment. It's not an easy task to manage waste from where it is generated to where it is transported to how it is recycled, to how it is being reused or being decomposed. Everything requires investment and cooperation. If the citizenry do not cooperate and the government do not have enough funding to these agencies the problem will still persist.
Hmm.
And I can tell you that it's very difficult for those in authority to really see that these problems require huge investment. So they should put in resources there so that we can have a saner environment for everybody. Most of our politicians today are more concentrated in doing constituency projects, in doing little empowerments here and there, give motorcycle, give this and that. They
And
do
it
not
ends
think,
there.
and it ends there. They are not looking at the larger picture that for us to have a sustainable environment that works for everybody, that can empower the citizenry, to live a fulfilled life. This is the direction we should be looking at. And that is why these problems are still with us and they will continue to be with us until and unless we stand up and face it squarely and do what is needed to be done.
So how can they face the problem squarely? How can they do it?
First of all, the government must give priority to planning
Okay.
and environmental issues because that is the beginning, that is the foundation. Once you are building a house and you did not get your foundation right, your building will certainly come down at a point in time. Your plan of a city or village, municipality, whatever it is, will bring out a sustainable plan for waste management, waste evacuation, it is transportation, it is processing. The plan is there to guide you in all those activities. And then the agencies need to be empowered. They need to have all the resources at their disposal. And then the citizenry, we must cooperate with the government when they come. And then more enlightenment, enlightenment, enlightenment. Some people do not know the negative impact of environmental problems until they hit them. You understand? So these are ways in which we can solve these problems. It has to be systematic.
Okay. In your reply, you talked about there are as though there are stages to proper waste management, and you talked of collecting, recycling, and all of that. Do you think Nigeria engages in waste recyclement?
Well, even if Nigeria engages, it's on a smaller scale.
Okay.
There are private individuals that are trying to come into it because it is now becoming economically beneficial to them.
Okay.
Not because it benefits the environment, no, but because they can make some money
out of it.
No, but the government is coming to look at a bigger picture. This kind of industries, government need to give incentives to those people who can be recycling waste for the benefit of the environment.
Okay.
Yes. The people doing it can be getting, that's why they are giving them incentives. So even if that business is not profitable, the government incentives can make people to keep doing that business. The important thing about it is that the government is ensuring the environment is protected and the citizens live a healthier and better life.
Okay. We'll be going on a break shortly. We'll be continuing on the discussion. We are discussing on waste management challenges that stems from inefficient urban planning. And I've been in the studio with town planner Sani Adamu, and we have been on this discussion for some time now. Join us right after this break.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back. This is the program City Pulse on Housing TV Africa. I am Phoebe Onwabuije, and we have been discussing on waste management stemming from inefficient urban planning. And I have here with me in the studio Town Planner Sani Adamu, the National Auditor of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, before we went on that break, you were talking about sensitization, because I am very sure that about 50% of Nigerians do not know that they have to pay bills for agencies to be able to properly manage their waste. The most a Nigerian man would do, an average Nigerian man would do, is take his debt outside his house, and also maybe pay, well, some of these guys they call mishara, to pack the debts and, you know, take them to the refuse dump, which is where it remains and causes issues. So what do you think? These agencies, they are not doing their job enough. I would actually say that they are not doing well. So what are the things that they need to do to properly manage waste in the country?
Yes, thank you very much. People need a lot of sensitization. Like you said, a lot of Nigerians do not know that they are supposed to pay these charges. But you said it, they pay me Bola to come and evacuate Bola for them. If they can pay my Bola to take away Bola and drop it in an undesignated place,
just anywhere
where it can be a further nuisance, that somebody still has to pay another money,
yes,
for
to
it to
take
be
it out.
evacuated, because my Bola does not know
Nothing
the
concerns him.
intricacies of waste management. He does not know which refuse is supposed to go here, which one is supposed to go there. All he knows about is to use his wheelbarrow and pack it, and the next spot he sees,
he drops it there.
he drops it there. So if people can pay, the fees people are paying is negligible. The government agencies incur a lot of expenditure, and it is only through the citizens when they pay. This is like paying our taxes. You pay for these services. The amount is meager. If you are paying my Bola 5,000 naira a month to evacuate your waste, you will not pay the authority more than 2,000 naira to evacuate your waste. And they evacuate it very well for you. They will take it to a designated place. It is not going to constitute further nuisance to anybody. It will be recycled. Other people will make money from it. So it's just like we shooting ourselves in the foot. So the government need to do a lot by sensitization, going into the communities. You know, we have so many non-governmental organizations. The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners is one of them and is doing a lot. Our discourse now arises from a conference we held where we brought in professionals from Lagos, from United Nations, and a professor from Nasarawa State to come and discuss issues of the environment. We called all the government functionaries. They were there so that they can see new and emerging trends of waste management. You understand what I'm saying? We should be able to go beyond the analog method of waste disposal and transit into the new modern waste management. In global other countries that have gone far, or you know, in developed countries, you know, we have waste bins that have chips attached to them. Once your refuse is filled up, it sends a signal.
That's quite interesting.
And it will be evacuated immediately. We have robots doing this job. It doesn't even have to be humans that will smell and this. No. We have gone far. The recycling process, the transportation process, you know, even the waste. There is one aspect I would like to sincerely advise the authorities. Sorting of waste. That's one thing I would love to see coming to play in FCT. We need to sort our waste according to the biodegradable and degradable one, because that one is also constituting a lot of problem. We have so many plastic wastes, and we are combining them with other wastes. You know, together they are being evacuated, being processed like that. It's not supposed to be so.
They're supposed to be sorted out separately.
To be sorted out.
The ones to be recycled.
The ones to be recycled.
The ones to be used for manure.
Wastes. Those that take nothing, at least from 20 to 500 years
to decompose.
We need to sort them out properly. Those that will decompose
Can be used for manure.
It can be used for manure and other things. Then this other one, we have so many things we can use them for. People are using them now for building materials. They are using them to make pipes. They are using them to do so many things. Use it to generate electricity and so on and so forth. So we need to wake up and face the reality of the moment.
Okay. So before these permanent solutions arrive, the use of robots, the use of recycle bins with chips and all of that you discussed, that the NITP discussed in the just concluded conference, what can residents of Nigeria, how can they manage their waste while waiting for the permanent solutions?
The residents.
Yes, citizens of Nigeria.
First of all, the citizens of this country, everybody need to have a waste management plan as a family. That is my take.
Okay.
You are supposed to know the volume of your waste, so you know the kind of container that you are supposed to purchase for that. As a citizen, it's a responsibility for you to pay your waste bill. If you pay your waste bill, I can assure you that you can exact pressure on the authority to evacuate your waste as at when due. And with that, we reduce the problem. Because the issue of environmental waste management is not like electricity, whereby if you did not pay, they will come and cut your light. Or water, they will disconnect you. No. The waste management affects every other person in that community. If your waste start emitting gaseous elements, it moves into the surrounding things and affects other people. So the environmental authorities cannot leave your waste because you did not pay. So you yourself know that if you did not pay, you are causing harm to other people. So as a human being, why should you want to harm somebody and even harm yourself in the process? Because you will be the first victim. Then subsequently it will move. That same gas that emits from your refuse that you refuse to evacuate can move from here to United States of America. It can move to Russia. It can move everywhere. It can go up to the ozone layer, deplete the ozone layer, cause the world to start having higher temperatures, cause the sea to start melting in the glaciers, thereby causing flooding in coastal cities and killing human beings.
That's true.
All because of just
one person.
Just that your action. So we need to wake up and sensitize the people. Let them know the inherent dangers of proper environmental management, so that we can live a better life and live a better world for our generations to come.
Thank you very much, Town Planner Sani. We know that the NITP, that is the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, their job is to plan the city, both the urban and the rural areas. So what are they doing? What is their role in addressing this challenge?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners is a non-governmental organization.
Okay.
It is not a profit-making organization. It is an organization that is aimed at promoting urban planning, sustainable settlements, and a functional society through its members that are town planners, that are working in private and public places. The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners usually call people like this one that we had. We educate people, those in authority. We tell them, we remind them about the standards that are there. You understand? We engage with communities. We tell them what they should do. So in essence, the Institute is there to help the society to achieve a balanced development. But I can assure you, wherever there is planning, there will be less environmental problems. Because before you prepare a plan, you already know that people will come here to live. You already know where you designate for residential, you know where is for commercial, you know where is for industrial, and as a town planner, you know every kind of waste that will be generated from every kind of building. You know the places that you designate where refuse will be taken to and recycled, that it will not constitute nuisance to anybody. So you already know all those things and you integrate them into the plan in such a way that bringing out the refuse is not a problem. Evacuating it is not a problem. Processing it is not a problem. And we have different kind of waste. We have the solid waste, we have the liquid waste,
Yes.
we have even the
Gaseous.
air pollution, the gaseous ones, even noise pollution.
There is.
There is a noise pollution.
Okay.
So all these things, a planner knows them. I can tell you that the people who plan Abuja City, they know about these problems right from inception.
So
And
is
they
it
would
that
have put solutions in place, but where we fail is the implementation. If you
so
go to
they
the plan now,
actually
everything
know,
is
but they
provided.
just ignored, or is
No, it's implementation.
Okay.
Like I said, implementation. And this one involves both the government and the citizens.
okay,
Like
sir.
I told you, funding is a problem.
Okay.
Where we provide places for this to manage this waste, you understand, to process it into other things. If you go there now, the Gosa landfill site is still almost empty.
The same thing.
After how many years? You understand? So, but some of the structures are in place, like the liquid waste now within the city. You don't see it. It all moves to a designated place. While people are moving, the waste is also moving underground. But nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Because you don't see it, because it is planned. But this is
And
a
it was
solid
implemented.
waste that must come to the road. If you do not buy a refuse bin and you dump your bin outside, by the time they bill you, you say the government is wicked. It's a Tinubu government, it's Buhari government. But meanwhile, you are the problem.
Okay.
It's a collective
I think
responsibility.
we should just wrap it up from
Thank
there.
you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Town Planner Sani Adamu. It has been an interesting and educative session with you, where we've learned so many things. We've learned the role of the government in proper waste management. We've also learned that the citizens also have a role to play. It has been an interesting session on this program, and that's a wrap on today's program. Join us next time as we bring you yet another episode of City Pulse. Follow us on all social media platforms at Housing TV Africa. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Housing TV Africa. And also remember to download our mobile app on Google Play and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Phoebe Onwabuje. Thanks for watching and goodbye.